Oh, welcome back to Bluebirds Walk, episode 39, and the last one of the 24-25 season. The big question, of course, for the final one this week is, will Salech stay with the Bluebirds? If he does, many people are saying we go up. We're looking at the manager odds as well, and can we believe the list which some bookmakers are publishing? We're looking ahead to the League One. Who would you want in our opening fixtures, and what's been our season highlight? If we can find one, we've got Jamie back with us. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been a long slog, this, Jamie, but I'll give you 3 months off now from this. How are you? Fresh back from Norwich?
Yeah, I mean, it was I said earlier on, it was a weird day yesterday. The writing was already on the wall, so sort of no matter what happened on the pitch, you were going up there almost to almost give the final send off to probably a lot of the players. What was yesterday like? I think it was nice to be in the sun. Norwich is a lovely day out. And like I said earlier on, I didn't feel emotionally attached yesterday, if that makes sense, because I felt like you said, there was nothing to play for as such. We knew our position, but it was just typical Cardiff City fashion that we concede 4 goals, 3 of which were probably mirroring of what we've conceded too often this season.
Yeah, absolutely. The big chat coming out of it, Jamie, is about Salech. Let's jump straight into that, shall we? First of all, ABZ Bluebird says, just back from the game, 80% of this squad needs moving on. They've got no fight. We're going to be a soft touch in League One. Salech has to stay. He's a proper striker. Apart from that 10 minutes, says Reese, spelled just around the red card, was an all right performance, to be fair. Keeping Salech will be the difference between an okay and a great season next year. Yeah, I mean, you've met him. Nice bloke by all accounts. Do you think he'll stay?
I'd love him too. I know my daughter would love him too. But I think it's finances again, isn't it? You get relegated for the Championship, you lose, was it £8 or £10 million in TV revenue alone? So unfortunately, there's going to be casualties in regards to sell-ins and stuff like that. So he's scored, was it 8 league goals, 1 in the FA Cup since January. He's going to be an asset to our club. He is an asset, and I think there'll be plenty of suitors that will be looking at him. I think the good thing about Salech is he's got a variety to his game, even though he's quite tall. I think he's got a lot of attributes that could mix in a very good side. If we do let him go, I'd hope that our club would actually get a good deal for him, because I know certain clubs will probably be on the cheap looking to get to capitalise on our relegation. But if he stays, absolutely brilliant. He's going to be a talisman if he goes. And he certainly leaves us with a big hole that we need to fill.
What price do you put on him now, Jamie? What's the minimum you would expect?
I mean, I think the rumoured fee was €3 million that we bought him, or 3.2, something like that. But I think we've got to be looking over 6, and that sounds, probably people say that might be ambitious or whatever. But for a guy that's came in as a rookie and a novice to this league in January as well, which is halfway through a season, to make an impact like he has in a side, let's be brutally honest, that have been poor and are finishing bottom of the league, that only speaks volumes of the person and the quality he has. Recruitment was an issue with our club, and to be fair, they found the gem with him. So I'll give credit to where it's due there. But if he's in a better side, I think you're commanding a bigger fee. So I would just want him to get 6, maybe. That's ambitious. I don't know, but I definitely would want to get more than what we paid for him, and I certainly wouldn't want him to go on a cheap.
Yeah, absolutely. Although we'll put anything past this management currently, would we? Either. There's another position that fans are crying out for as well. Howard here says, we need a new goalkeeper. Another shocking signing. Horvath is great if the ball is fired straight at him. If he's got to move, he's got no chance. No commanding presence. He doesn't come out and punch anything. No movement. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. Do you share that opinion?
Yeah, I mean, he has moments where you think, oh, it's a fantastic save. Like you said there, possibly if it's at him or if he's, kind of on his line. I think a lot of fans have been mentioning about him not coming off his line for such a sort of tall keeper. You would hope that he'd be able to come off his line a bit more and help the defenders. Whether that's confidence, I don't know. I mean, let's be honest, we've conceded, I think, is it 70 goals or something this season? Obviously, not all them are him, but the goals we're conceding, like yesterday, the first goal, I don't think he really moved. It was almost like he was stuck in the mud, so to say. Second goal and free kick, you can't, well, I don't know. Again, it's great free kick, isn't it? But you do question keep when it goes past you like that. But yeah, I think goalkeeper all round this season as they've had moments where they've just not covered himself in glory. But again, unfortunately, he's probably just one of many players that are in the firing line for the fact we've conceded so many goals.
Yeah. Okay. Lawler, Kyle was saying has got to start next season, and another one, Salech needs to stay. Agree with them. We've been impressed by Lawler, haven't we? Spoken many times on here, especially his performances in the cup.
Yeah, Dylan Lawler's he's a good person more than anything. He's got his level, his levels about him, academically and things like that. He's done really well. Graduated in the local colleges and things, so he's got his head screwed on. We watched him for the 21s. It's quite funny how football works. Last Wednesday we were up in last Friday, up in Vicarage Road, and he was with the 21s, and you can just see up close how he commands and how he reads the game, and his distribution's phenomenal. I mean, he was on the run and he played a great diagonal ball with the outside of his foot. The winger didn't have to move. Yesterday he came on, in a position, let's be brutally honest, I think we were 2-1 or 3-1 down at the time. He came on, he just slotted straight in. And he was bossing around, players that are more experienced than him. And I think that's good for him. But again, I think maybe that's another damning sort of thing of our season, that these younger players, as much as it's positive that they're coming through, they've shown more positives than probably our more experienced players. And I think that's why we have been in the position that we're in, that our youngsters are almost setting the tone and the examples that unfortunately our senior pros haven't.
Yeah. Okay. You mentioned that you finished bottom of the league. Is that a damning indictment on this squad? You've gone down, but even Plymouth and everybody finished above you?
I think so. I mean, again, the table doesn't lie. It's a 46 game season, and you can to win only 9 games in the season. That's the 50 games. That's never going to keep you up. And again, credit to Plymouth and other sides. I'll take my hat off to Derby. They made changes at points that they felt they were required. I know throughout the season their fans were calling for changes, especially the likes of Derby, who demanded that Warren went, and they brought in an experienced manager. Now, again, our club, Vincent Tan had stuck by Omar Rizza, and that's fine. No problem. He had his reasons for that. But when results weren't going our way, we should have acted quicker and given Aaron Ramsey and Chris Gunter 3 games to hopefully get us out, albeit when we were only a point behind at the time. It's probably an impossible position. So again, we've got to give credit to the other teams, but the table doesn't lie. We didn't score enough goals and we conceded way too many.
Okay. Well, we shall miss Cardiff massively. So the fan base is brilliant wherever they've been up and down the country. But the next manager is the next bit I think most people want solving, Jamie. And this was the view from Craig, who says this is about Salech. We must keep him at all costs. Now, all our efforts go into getting Nathan Jones out of Charlton and then let him build. We'll look at the manager odds as well. Like I said at the start of the show, I can't believe some of these. Aaron Ramsey is the favourite currently at the moment. Then when we see names such as Gary O'Neill, Stephen Gerrard, Sean Dyche, Steve Cooper, Rob Edwards, and Liam Senior, who's definitely not going to want to leave France to come to League One. No disrespect. First question is, who do you want, Jamie, based on that list there, based on all the rumour mill, and what can you see happening? I mean, that list there doesn't look a realistic kind of approach list to me.
No, I think this is a chance to rebuild, if any. Now it has to be. It's the first time, is it, in 20 odd years that we've been down in this, this division. So if you're going to do Project Reset, which it looks like we're going to have to, and restructure, as Ramsey said, then I think we need to change our philosophy. We need to bring a modern approach in. We need a modern manager. Some of the names on there, Gary O'Neill, that would be okay, I suppose. But let's be honest, he's just he's lost his job with Wolves, the Premier League side this year. Is he really going to want to make 2 steps back? I don't think so. The Nathan Jones drum keeps banging down at Cardiff because he's a Cardiff fan. And I think maybe that's what we do best. We have Ramsey now who's there and understands the club. We've got Chris Gunter that understands the club, has played for the club. Maybe that's what Cardiff needs, is somebody that really understands the fans and how the club can work if it's pulling in the right direction. Another mention, I think someone had mentioned the other day, Des Buckingham, how he did well with Oxford in League One, played a decent style of football, so possibly similar to that. But some of the names on there, I mean, you know, when we talk about costs, the effect of getting relegated, you know, to get a Steven Gerrard and all these other names, you're going to be paying ridiculous odds to come in and to hope that they're going to make this, you know, this work. You're not going to be a Birmingham City who, you know, have got Jay Stansfield and so on and spent quite a lot of money when, you know, let's be brutally honest, our owner at the minute is probably in a catch-22 as to what he's going to do, despite his statement saying that he's, well, fully supportive of the club. Well, actions speak louder than words.
Yeah. Okay. And let us know in the comments who you want as your manager. And yes, we've joked a little bit about the away fixtures next season. Stevenage away is the one Swansea fans seem to be ramming down the throats. Are there any particular ones on that you've looked at and targeted going, that's a nice little trip?
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough. I went to Stevenage the other week. It's a lovely little setup. One of our loanees, Eli King's there. So I took a trip up there on a Thursday night against Birmingham. Lovely ground. I think everyone says about Blackpool away, didn't they? We went there a few years ago. Everyone wants a weekend in Blackpool for the, you know, obvious reasons. I don't know, maybe somewhere like Lincoln, you know, Stockport possibly if they don't go up. They'd be nice trips. But I always like a trip to to London. Only an hour and just under 2 hours on the train. Good day out. And so if Charlton don't go up, Charlton away. But yeah, there's a lot of trips. I mean, you know, Beshel mentioned to Bradford. Bradford's coming up, Port Vale. So some, you know, I know a lot of fans will be scratching off the grounds on their boards now. So you know, I suppose that's the only positive sign, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, we'll definitely be chatting to you next season more about that. And if you're a Cardiff fan that wants to come and join us and do some chatting about your League One journeys, do drop us an email at admin@theterracetalk.com. We'll be glad to have you on board. Right. As you wave the Championship goodbye, then who do you want to go up in the playoffs? I know you probably don't care, but
no, I think Sunderland. Listen, I think. Their fan base, you know, over the years, you know, they've been through some hard times and what have you, and again, they had to reset. You know, we saw the Netflix documentary years ago and stuff. They've had to reset. So listen, they've got a good fan base. Some of the lads who speak on this show, you know, they're really good boys. So to have Sunderland up there, it'd be good for the football, I suppose, up in the northeast. So yeah, let Sunderland go up. I'd be wrong for me to say, oh yeah, go and get Bristol City up, because I don't want to see them. Let them have an argument with Swansea instead of us having an argument with them and Swansea next year.
Yeah, well, yeah, you'll have seen, I'm sure, all the tweets from Bristol City fans, because you've gone down, and Bristol Rovers have gone down as well. So it's like some Bristol City fans somewhere has found a lamp, someone said. They had 3 wishes. Right then, finally, what's been the? I'm sorry to ask this last one. What's been the season highlight? It can be on the field, off the field, moments that have just touched you, moments that you'll put in your back pocket and your memories for life.
I think, on the pitch, you know, you can look no further, I suppose, than the demolition of them lot down the road. And that sounds silly considering where we finished. But hey, if that's a small solace, then I'll have to take. Then I will. I just think that, you know what, I have a sort of mentality that, you know, football is the 90 minutes that's on the pitch, but it doesn't define your day. And ultimately, the hours that you spend traveling there and back with the people that you spend it with, they are probably the more memorable things. And this year, you know, the likes of Blackburn away when we've won, Sheffield United away on Good Friday, you know, on the train journeys, you meet people from other clubs. And it's, you know, like I said, you'll have a plan, you'll have a routine for the day. But whenever things happen, it's fantastic. And like I said, win or lose, you're going to have a good time. So, we'll remember this. And like I said, we'll hopefully come back stronger. And who knows, in 12 months' time, I might be celebrating a promotion party. Who knows? Wishful thinking, I know.
Brilliant. Well, let's fingers crossed that you are. Thank you for everything you've done for us, Jamie, on this one. Thank you to James, of course, and everybody else who's contributed to this channel. Have a great summer, Jamie, with your lovely family. If you can forget about football for a bit, and we'll see you back on August 7th to preview the start of the League One season ahead. All the best, mate. Thank you very much, of course, for joining us. Have a great summer, everyone.